Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas?
Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
Hit that line.
.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it! Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play!
Hey, hold on, it's almost halftime.
It's the middle of the week. We're starting to take you towards the end of your week once we get to 1 o'clock. Today is, man, this might be the only day you can actually have a little celebration for baseball because of the MLB Draft, which begins tonight at 6 o'clock. You can watch it on ESPN, MLB Network. First round today, rounds 2 through 5, will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And you really can't even be as excited as usual for the Major League Baseball Draft today, because instead of doing 40 rounds or even 20 rounds, they're just going to do 5. So something like 160 players will be selected in the draft instead of the normal 1,000 or so. They usually get snapped up this time of the year. But one thing is for certain, there are a couple of Razorbacks that could hear their name drafted in the first round today, which would be the first time that ever happens. Heston Kjerstad is a sure thing. Although you see him slipping a little bit on a couple of draft boards here and there, still has a great chance to be picked in the top 10. Without question, Kjerstad will be a first-round pick. The other question about first round is Casey Martin. Does Casey Martin get selected in the first round? Definitely has the first-round talent. If not the numbers from last year, and some question marks that might cause some major league teams to view Martin with a little more caution than they would some other players. And then as we got into yesterday, maybe Casey's asking for a certain amount of money. That means if he doesn't budge, major league teams don't offer it, then he might be coming back to Arkansas for another year. And then, of course, we're wondering about Casey Opitz, whether or not he gets selected too. And you got a bunch of incoming freshmen for Dave Van Horn's team that very well could get selected in the draft, up to 8, possibly, in the most recent perfect game, top 150 players. 8 of the 2020 Razorback baseball incoming freshman class are ranked amongst those top 150. Boy, SmackDown, Dave Van Horn has been talking for the last couple of years about just how good this class should be. Yep. How good this 2020, it's really 2021 incoming class because that's for next season, just how good they are. They're ranked second in the country, third in the country, first in the country, depending on what recruiting service you're checking out. And perhaps for Dave, it's a little extra luck that the pandemic knocks the draft down to 5 rounds. Then on the other hand, without the pandemic, he would have played baseball, and who knows where we'd be right now. We might actually be either lamenting an early end to the season or getting set for a third consecutive trip to the College World Series. But one thing's for certain, because you only have 5 rounds, more of these incoming freshmen will make it to campus than would have if you would have had the usual 40-round draft.
It's good news for Dave Van Horn. It's good news for college baseball fans in general. I mean, next year's college baseball season is going to be, I would argue, one of probably the most competitive baseball season that the NCAA has probably ever seen. And it's going to be stacked across the board because, like you said, a bunch of these high school recruits, particularly a lot of them that come to Arkansas, but the same can be said for, we'll just say any SEC school, they're going to come play at college. I mean, and it's going to make the whole brand better. It's going to make the players better because they're playing, you could argue, against major league talent that would be playing in minors anyway. It's great. And to piggyback what you just mentioned too, no telling where we'd be. I do remember, though, where we were 1 year ago today, and it was the greatest call in radio history happened a year ago today.
Yeah, I remember that one. Was that today? I guess that was.
A year ago today.
1 year ago today, Arkansas beats Ole Miss 14-1 to go to that College World Series. I know people enjoyed the call. I know I liked making the call. Can't help, though, but, you say we're coming for the whole damn thing and end up going 0-2 in barbecue. That's one thing that sticks in my mind a little bit, though. The call was definitely fun. The moment, I'd never give up, and I don't think anybody that was there would give it up either. That was a lot of fun.
It's a big deal. Regardless of what happens in the College World Series, it's hard enough to make it there, especially when you get into the regionals, especially in the Super Regionals. It's hard enough to make it to the College World Series, and that's reason enough to celebrate. I mean, you got there. Yeah, you went 0-2 and got smoked both times while you were there, but you're one of the best. You're one of the best.
Those were two close games. Smoked is getting crushed. They didn't get crushed. They were a couple of close ones. 1-0 and.
That's right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. I'm sorry. That was my. Yes, you're right.
They were close games. Watch out now, man. I mean, gotta get our terminology straight here. But I feel like anybody that gets drafted by a major league team looks at that as a very precious commodity. Jobs amongst baseball players, though, are becoming even more precious. I had this conversation with Jake Reindl at the PT College League yesterday, former Razorback, now Chicago Cubs farmhand, who's from Fayetteville, and he's been up here during the shutdown and continues to work on his craft. They're going to be eliminating 2 levels of minor league baseball. They're bringing in fewer high school players and college players to the professional ranks. Right there, that tells you that and you already had about 1,000 minor league players get cut. What was that, a week ago? Jake knew about 30 of those players personally from the Chicago Cubs organization. That's a tough day for those who lose those jobs and for their really good friends who they played with over the past couple of years. Those jobs are even more precious. I mean, if you think it was rare to have the talent to even play 1 year of minor league baseball, it's even more rare now. It's rarer air than it ever has been. So, to see these guys here, and there are going to be fewer high schoolers, a percentage of high schoolers amongst the 160 players that get picked than usual. There's just more. There's more risk with high schoolers, and also for the high schoolers now, they're going to have to take into account the fact that the structure that they thought they were going into, in which they would play in small cities, in front of small-ish crowds, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 in the Pioneer League and rookie leagues, and those levels are going away, folks. Next year, you're not going to have rookie league baseball. They are cutting coaches. They are cutting jobs. Will an 18-year-old develop better in an overall sense, not just as a ball player, but as a person, at extended spring training, essentially what's a season of extended spring training for like 4 months, being stuck in that complex in Arizona or in Florida? Or are you going to develop more, both in a baseball sense and in a humanity sense, coming to a university like Arkansas, where you're going to get a good education, you're going to get great coaching from coaches that are going to be here, not too many hands in the pot, so to speak, to ruin the stew or the soup. I don't know, and I just feel like the tide is turning now to where some of the best high school players, if they don't get exactly the money that they are asking for, they're coming to college. And so, we'll talk about Kjerstad, we'll talk about Casey Martin, you'll talk about Casey Opitz. It might even be more important for the incoming players, guys like Mason Wynn, who probably is the first incoming freshman that gets selected in the draft. I mean, from the Arkansas class, not the overall class. Mason's a two-way player who can throw 98, plays shortstop, very athletic. Kylie McDaniel, a friend from ESPN who covers the draft, has Wynn going 41st to the Kansas City Royals. Now, the question is, are the Royals going to meet his bonus demands or not? That will be the decision. That will be where his decision is based. And I wonder about Markavian Hentz, the right-hander out of Pine Bluff, I've seen him throw up to 96 miles an hour as well. These are high school pitchers. Usually they would be going in the first 5 rounds. But if you only have 5 rounds,
and the money's not right,
do major league teams take the risk of going after the high schoolers, and do the high schoolers take the risk of not going to a place like Arkansas or like LSU? I mean, anywhere in the SEC, to be honest, you're going to get probably a better overall life experience, and you might become probably a better baseball player by coming to campus. It's funny, I used to think the other way around. The more I'm around Arkansas baseball, the more I realize you actually become much better prepared for a professional career, even if you don't get to the major leagues, by coming to campus and learning, you know, how Dave and Nate and Matt and all the other coaches that they've had want to have you play the game. Much more about this to come up during the show. 877-377-6963. Clay Henry's with us in 20 minutes. Bill King at 1:30 as we'll talk. Bill loves college baseball too. He's right there in Nashville, where Vanderbilt may have the top overall pick, and shortstop Austin Martin. It is a Wednesday. It is hump day, and we're going to start counting you down towards the weekend once we get to about 1 o'clock. Good to be with you today, and we will come right back.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I asked Tanner Yurchek over here at Paragle, I said, look me in the eyes and tell me I'll be dead if we ever play them. And he said, Miss Lisa, you'll be dead. Well, I'm not dead. Before they play in football, maybe I'll be out here at Laredo Cemetery, and y'all can come by and let me know the score.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Kevin Hickey Law has a great team of people who are dedicated to your legal cares. Kevin Hickey's law team is made up of experienced, caring individuals centered around divorce, child and custody, DHS matters, and more. Serving the Fort Smith area and Northwest Arkansas. Make the right decision. Call Kevin Hickey Law at 479-434-2414. And for Northwest Arkansas, 479-802-6560. Or the web at kevinhickeylaw.com, where our clients are our main priority from start to finish.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
For the month of June, Franco Furniture stocked full of Made in the USA. You heard right, Made in the USA furniture and Speed Queen washers and dryers all on sale. Franco Furniture wants you to know we are taking every precaution necessary to keep you safe. We will have hand sanitizer available along with masks. Franco Furniture's #1 priority is keeping our customers safe. In-store no credit check financing. Family owned and serviced after the sale for 27 years. Franco Furniture! 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Do you find yourself smacking yourself in the face every time you walk out in your yard? Well, Mosquito Joe can fix your itch. Mosquito Joe has a team of licensed, professional mosquito control experts to rid your yard of those pesky mosquitoes so you can actually enjoy your yard anytime, day or night. To get started for just $39, call Mosquito Joe today, 479-202-9960. That's 202-9960, or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Hey,
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Madden's 1-0. Kjerstad hits a high drive to center with a chance. Back goes Todd. Todd's at the wall. That's gone. And Heston Kjerstad leads off the 6th inning with his 5th home run of the season. You know, I don't usually comment every day on what the hashtag holiday is for today. We put it at the top of our pre-show tweet. Today is National Black Cow Day. Now, that's a drink. As I understand, that's a drink that involves Kahlua, ice cream, and Coca-Cola. This sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I know Black Cow is one of my favorite Steely Dan songs. It's about as mellow of a song as you will ever hear in your entire life. Some might call it boring. I dig this song. Have you ever had a Black Cow? I mean, I love root beer floats. I just never put Kahlua in it. That's what it sounds like to me.
I've never had one before. I've heard of it before, but I've never tried one. I was trying to find the recipe. What you said it was called? Oh, I typed it in wrong. Whoops.
Steely Dan tells you to drink your big Black Cow and get out of here. Yeah, I won't finish any more of that. It's not really sportsy music, but I had to think about that. Seeing today is National Black Cow
Black
Day.
Cow.
So they don't mean like an actual cow that makes milk. Yeah. This is a drink, okay? It's a drink that involves. What did you find?
So this one's the non-alcoholic one, but this is chocolate syrup, Coca-Cola, cream, and chocolate ice cream. That sounds pretty.
I want the stuff with the Kahlua in it.
Well,
okay?
here's the boozy bourbon Black Cow.
Okay, that'll work for me.
This one, let's see here.
Well, it's tasty. Kahlua, half and half, Coca-Cola, and ice cream. I think that sounds delicious.
This one had half a cup of evaporated milk, 2 cups of root beer, your choice, 2 ounces of your favorite bourbon, then mix it between 2 tall cocktail glasses.
Maybe I'll make one later today when the show is done. Yummy.
Make you one and put it into a Yeti when you go to watch the baseball games.
Outstanding.
Just don't get caught.
Did anybody really think that there was going to be a live in-person SEC Media Days this summer? Because I heard Ruskin and Zach talking about it yesterday with Lindy from Lindy's Football. I mean, there was no way at all that there was going to be
then or
in-person.
Like 2 months ago or now?
Now, or even 2 months ago. Come on now. The SEC has announced that they're making the media days virtual, which is just going to disappoint all of the media members that like to come together in one central location, spend a couple of days asking funny questions inside press conference rooms, watching the reaction when Nick Saban comes in, and then pretty much going out, getting hammered, and having an all-night karaoke performance with all the media members, which I know happens. So now they're just going to have to find a way to get together and do their karaoke thing on Zoom.
Hey, they could do virtual carpool karaoke. It could be done.
Something tells me it's just not as much fun. So this has come out this morning. The SEC 2020 Football Media Days will be held virtually from July 13th through 16th. So virtual format. Fun. And there was absolutely no way it was going to be done in person this year. Maybe never again. Who knows?
I would almost I don't think it'll be. There's no way that they're good. This is going to be in my mind, the permanent direction that they move, keeping it virtual, just because, like you said, it's an event almost.
No, it is an event. I mean, it becomes an event for the media, and even fans end up showing up. I remember, and you get a chance to make fun of the media members every once in a while. I remember Ty last year got on television asking a question of Chad Morris, and it was a pertinent question. It was asking him, when do you think you'll have a decision on the starting quarterback, which, of course, there never was one for the entire preseason,
his entire tenure
schedule or the entire season. Yeah, entire 2 years. But he was wearing a very loud Hawaiian shirt. Ty, not Morris. And so that gave us a couple of minutes of content to make fun of Ty, which we usually don't need any help with that. But so anyway, I mean, well, that's where all of the quotes will come from, all the sound bites. It'll be done virtually, just like every other press conference has been done as well. And look, this probably will also be the way that Arkansas does press conferences, even when games start again. These Zoom press conferences have worked pretty well.
It's a whole lot easier for people like us to connect with them too. I mean, I could see that happening, but going back to SEC Media Days too, I would argue maybe like a month ago when everybody you saw the positive test start to go down. Maybe there was a little inclination that they might do it live, just maybe in a different way and enforce social distancing. But with the protesting and everything happening, and then you've seen the uptick here in Arkansas, particularly in Northwest Arkansas. But I agree. Now, probably not. I would have argued a month ago maybe they could have pulled it off and done it live, but there's just, like you said, there's too much risk involved.
We do see the quote at the end of Commissioner Sankey's comments that he does say we look forward to returning to our traditional Media Days format in 2021. Traditional might mean, that could be Hoover rather than Atlanta.
Because this year it was supposed to be at the Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah, the College Football Hall of Fame, which is not in the best of shape right now. That had some issues during the protests and riots in Atlanta. So yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I got a couple of texts in here, by the way. 877-377-6963. Hacker and Harrison says it was more making fun of Ty's hair in that picture than the shirt. It was the hair and the shirt together. They worked together well. I think it was his Natter Day shirt too. That was the other part about it. It wasn't just a Hawaiian shirt. It was a beer shirt. It was a Natter Day shirt, a strawberry light beer shirt.
I just wonder where you come up with clothes like that.
Andy in Mountain Home wants to know about the baseball games in Northwest Arkansas. Can the public go watch? Yes, for free. As long as you are one of the first 150 there, then you can watch from, between the bases, essentially. If you're not one of the first 150, you can watch past the outfield, which I did for a little bit yesterday. Adam wants to have some stock in Zoom. Now, I don't even know how Zoom makes money. It's every time I've joined a Zoom meeting, it's been free for me.
When you host, that's when you have to pay subscriptions.
That's when you got to pay.
So I think like us three could Zoom just fine, but then I think it's when you add the fourth person in, or it may be the third, I'm not sure. But after so many people in there, you have to pay for it.
Well, I wonder if it's going to go the way of America Online at some point. A lot of people would have wanted AOL stock, and then, it ended up being worth nothing at some point. We got some more commits for both women's basketball and baseball. Baseball got, a couple of days ago, a pitcher and a third baseman from the same high school in Kensett, Missouri, one for the 2022 class, one for 2023. Yesterday, 2023 commit Ty Wade, a catcher from Texarkana High School, Arkansas High in Texarkana, pardon me. It'll be interesting for Dave Van Horn because Ty Wade's father, Billy, played for Dave Van Horn when he was the head coach at Texarkana College. So, and that was I think that was Dave's first head coaching job. That was the early '90s when he was first. It was after he had left. He was in the Braves organization, came back to Arkansas as a grad assistant, and then got the job at Texarkana. So he's got one of his first players' sons now committed to him. I mean, it's 3 years away. Boy, is that I was going to say, is that a moment that makes you feel old? It has to.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's got to make Dave Van Horn feel a little bit aged, but yeah, I mean, 3 years away. Heck, there ain't no telling where we'll be in 3 years.
But yeah, that's part of it too. That's why when you talk about these baseball commits, you never really know if they're making it to campus or not. Women's basketball did get another commit. This is also for the 2023 class. It's a big get. Marin Archer, who is from Derby, Kansas, right outside Wichita. 5'8" guard, ranked right now top 25 player in the nation for the 2023 class, according to Blue Star Basketball. So I know Mike Neighbors was pretty excited about her. By the way, I did see Mike again last night. He has perhaps the single coolest vehicle in all of Northwest Arkansas.
Really?
You might see a red Jeep with Razorback stuff all over. I mean, some of the really cool logos. The Sweater Hog.
Oh, cool.
The Razorback jumping through the A. It's got hogs on the back. It's bright red. It is.
You can't miss it.
Beautiful vehicle. You really can't miss it. No.
That's awesome.
I hope he starts riding that thing to games and parks it in Bud Walton Arena once we get to basketball season next year.
He's been putting in work on the recruiting scale. I mean, we're talking about Wolfenbarger a couple times recently. We talked about her yesterday, dominating with the scrimmage that she was a part of with several of the current Razorback players.
Yeah.
Getting another big one. Got to keep going, though. Got to keep grinding because women's basketball is right behind him, too.
The funny thing, too, about Mike, he just had a baby boy. JC gave birth to a brand new son 3 weeks ago. And Mike Bowen is his name. Mike joking now. He's a member of the 2039 recruiting class. But I'm assuming Mike won't be able to coach his own son at that point. Wrong gender, unless Mike moves over to men's basketball. Clay Henry coming up with us after the break. Got any questions for Clay? 877-377-6963. We'll talk with Clay about the baseball draft coming up today. Pros and cons going to play minor league baseball versus coming to college. And maybe some of the greatest TV dads in history. Ooh. It's a new bracket we got coming up. Back after the break.
For the ones we trust to always be there. For the ones caring for others. For the ones who keep things going, no matter where they are. In extraordinary times, extraordinary people step up, like the ones standing guard and standing on the front lines, and the ones who are staying apart while still working together. With your efforts, we will get through this. We're grateful for all you do. Visit Grainger.com for resources that can help as you create your recovery plan. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Capital One knows life doesn't alert you about your credit card.
Hey, Couch Surfers, we've got nonstop tunes to keep you rocking while you work. Oh, and Colleen, yes, you Colleen with a K. Your free trial of Movie Plus ends tomorrow, and your card may be charged. Do you want to continue or cancel?
So meet Eno, the Capital One assistant. Eno looks out for surprise charges, like when free trials expire, and helps if you need to fix them. Eno, another way Capital One is watching out for your money when you're not. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Limitations apply.
Joe's Grill and Cantina is open and ready to serve you in the dining room or on the patio. Make your reservations by calling 478-9600. Joe's wants to say thank you to everyone that enjoyed curbside to-go and delivery service. And please know it's not going away. So come on into Joe's for chips, salsa, all your favorite Tex-Mex, family packs, and your favorite cold beverages. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 478-9600 for reservations. Joe's Grill and Cantina on South 74th Street across from Harps.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch? I'd like that.
You could win the ultimate Father's Day getaway. Head to hitthatline.com and register to win an all-inclusive stay at Gaston's White River Resort. This includes 3 nights deluxe lodging, 2 days of guided fishing on the White River, and $200 to enjoy at Gaston's restaurant. Just register at hitthatline.com. The ultimate Father's Day getaway is brought to you by our Track Sales and Rentals in Clarksville, Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling, Gelco Outdoors in Fort Smith, Metters Lumber Company in Alma and Ozark, Big Creek Trading Company in Harrison, and by Make Awake Boats in Van Buren. No purchase necessary. You can register once per day. Winner announced on June 19th. Win the ultimate Father's Day getaway from Gaston's White River Resort. HitThatLine.com and ESPN Arkansas.
Junior? Yes, sir.
I love you, Dad.
Happy Father's Day.
At JCPenney, we know you miss us, and we miss you. So, what if we said we had a store that's open all day, every day? We do. It's jcp.com or the JCPenney app. Need a swimsuit? We've got them. Something new and cute for summer? Look no further. Exclusive JCPenney brands, plus your favorite national brands? Yes and yes. Check our site for the latest coupons, and when you spend $49 or more, standard shipping is free. JCPenney. Exclusions apply. See jcp.com for details.
This human resources professional is on top of his game with Kronos, and this is his hype song.
No, nobody catching up. They're not fast or strong enough.
HR, payroll, talent, and time.
I'm the best beyond belief. I got strength.
And I'm engaging all the best people.
I'm the best you ever know.
Kronos, HR solutions for the modern workforce. Learn more at kronos.com/HR swagger.
I won't stand by.
This is ESPN 95.3. Want more halftime? Make sure to listen to the Halftime Pod, presented by Jeff's Clubhouse, Fort Smith's premier place for lunch, brunch, and catering. Give them a call at 479-308-9123. The Halftime Pod is available on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify.
Let's do a podcast from right here in the booth.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Hi, and welcome back inside the studios. We've got Clay Henry, publisher and editor at Hogs Illustrated, and of course you can read all of his columns at Whole Hog Sports. Joining us here on a Wednesday. Clay, what's going up on the Norfolk River these days? How are you?
Hey, it's good here. We kind of dodged the bullet a couple of nights ago. In fact, I helped Tommy Kraft evacuate. He came over thinking that his house might be flooded. Of course, I'm poor, so I'm up on the ridge. I can't afford river properties per se. So got to see the pure panic in his eyes after the sheriff visited his house telling him to get out.
That's what I was going to say. That means you're coming from the place of safety. You're coming from the place of refuge if you're up on the cliff.
So I took the refugees, Tommy and Teddy, and put them in my basement and put clean sheets on the beds down there. And,
You're so sweet.
Then our daughter had been here previously, and they'd been washed, so they just hadn't been put back on yet. But we set up that night till about 1 a.m. just talking. And partly I think it was to babysit Tommy as he watched the storm clouds roll over and watched the radar. But I just kept talking to him. It's like, hey, he's on the ledge. I'm gonna talk him off that ledge.
That's right.
And it's gonna be all right. And it was. The magic number was like 3.5 inches, and we got like 2 3/4. If they got to 3.5, they were going to open the floodgates. It's not much fun if you have property down there on the river and that's going on.
I don't know. Matty T. This sounds a little bit like the premise for it could be a pretty good horror movie when you think about it. Slumber party in the basement. There's a massive storm, possible flooding.
I feel like I've seen that before.
Yeah, sounds like a Friday the 13th. All right, Clay, let's talk some baseball with the draft going today. And I just want to ask a simple question here. It's not a matter of like what does a player want as far as their demands for a bonus, anything like that. Where do you think that young players, not college players, are talking to high school players that are either going to college or might go in the draft, and Arkansas's got 8 of their incoming freshmen amongst the top 150 players nationally, according to Perfect Game. Do you think that they get better coaching and a better overall experience coming to college, whether it's Arkansas, whether it's LSU, whether it's Mississippi State, or going to play professional ball?
So I think it's beyond that. That's part of the equation, but I think for many of them, mom and dad know whether their 17-year-old or their barely 18-year-old is ready to go live on their own and play minor league baseball and take care of themselves. And you've seen the 18-year-olds roll into AA baseball, haven't you, Phil?
It's rare for them to get up there that quickly, but there have been a couple of them.
Well, but they started somewhere. I mean, maybe not AA. But, yeah, they'll do Class A, low Class A, then high Class A, and then maybe the third year it's AA, right?
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
Yeah, but just think about sending your baby to minor league baseball. And it starts out with kind of a long summer, right?
Yeah.
And then they might send you to winter ball or something. But it's I think that what they're going to get at Arkansas with more fatherly influence of Dave Van Horn, who's used to taking care of 18-year-olds, and Matt Hobbs and Nate Thompson and Clay Goodwin. I mean, front office Kelly. I mean, just handling their basic needs. They just know what they're doing. Plus, you go up to the Jerry and Jean Jones family, and they've got psychologists, psychiatrists, they've got nutritionists, so what these SEC schools have right there with the support staff, it's more than just the coaching, Phil. It's everything. I mean, they've got every imaginable thing for these kids, and that's what they are at 18. They're not grown men yet. They're going to be, and when they turn them loose as the end of their junior year, they've been through so much, and they've developed mentally, physically, in so many other ways, aside from just the coaching part of it, that it just makes more sense. And then the other part of it is that, do you want to ride those buses? And in the SEC, it's charter flights to go from Arkansas to Columbia, Arkansas to Gainesville, Arkansas to Auburn, even Arkansas to LSU. And they've probably taken buses to Starkville. They've probably taken buses to Ole Miss, maybe a bus to Missouri. But otherwise, it's charter plane. It's pretty sweet. So, long answer to a good question, Phil.
I think the word really is stability. If you're looking aside from the coaches, and admittedly, your roster spot depends upon your production, and how the coaching staff, feels you project into next year. So, but for those players that do produce and are good teammates and practice hard, they get a lot more stability. I think stability is the right word than you do playing minor league baseball at the lower levels, and I think that stability means something.
Yeah, and the part that we didn't even touch on is what they have at Arkansas that is so much better than anywhere else in the SEC. The analytics that they've done, starting with Wes Johnson, but Matt Hobbs was the perfect, transition hire and really to the next level. We've had stories on our website and our magazine on the mound force technology that they have developed in Jacksonville, Arkansas, believe it or not.
I know, isn't that nuts?
And they don't even have that across the SEC. And the performance building that they're under construction that will be these high school players now that are being recruited, they're going to fit perfectly there, and they're going to get so much benefit from that. And it's incredible. And I mean, right now, Dave Van Horn makes an offer, and the commitments are coming so fast because they all know it, all across baseball. I mean, just think about this. This is the only really thing you need to know. The general manager of the Kansas City Royals entrusted his son to Dave Van Horn. Mm-hmm. That is massive. And everybody in baseball knows it.
Speaking to Clay Henry here on Halftime. Clay, I want to transition to basketball just for a second. Talked a little bit about Justin Smith coming to Arkansas, but it kind of puts Eric Musselman and their staff in a little bit of a peculiar situation because when this news broke, at first glance you thought, oh, well, Isaiah Joe's gone, or it sure seemed that way.
Yep.
And then you start hearing these rumors that maybe not. Maybe this is more just someone else might be on the way out and not necessarily connected to Isaiah Joe. So let's just assume for this question Isaiah Joe was to come back and not stay in the NBA draft. What do you think Eric Musselman's going to do? I mean, obviously there's going to have to be a player leave. I'm just kind of curious how he's going to go about that.
The one that's least likely to play much.
Who would you think that'd be?
You have to ask Eric Musselman. I ain't going to play that game. That's for him. And because I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know which one of those guys. You can probably go down the roster and say, well, no, probably not that guy, probably not that guy, probably not that guy. And you get down towards the end, it's like, who are the guys that, that didn't play a lot last year or maybe were in and out of the doghouse or, somebody that's not done well in classes in the last 6 months. And, I don't have that information. It's like what happened over the last 3 months with the virtual classes or whatever. I mean, so the guys are just now back on campus, right? The basketball players reported just like the football guys. So, yes. Which one of those guys hadn't been working out? Which one of those guys still can't make a free throw? which one of those guys is, now he can only lift 110 pounds with the bench press instead of the 230 when he left here. So that's, to me, that's what determines it. Like what do you see over the next 6 weeks? I mean, it's not a decision that has to. You don't have to put a guy on the, I mean, I don't think you have to put anybody on scholarship right now. Are they in classes? I'm not even sure they're having summer classes right now. So I don't know, and it's not a very good question for me to try to answer because I don't know.
I want to transition just to a little fun thing that we're doing here on Halftime and throughout the morning rush. We're doing the Best TV Dads Bracket. We're kicking that off today. It's presented by Southern Tire Mart. I'm just curious from your standpoint because I haven't grown up watching a lot of television shows like that where they're best TV dads. But when I say best TV dads, like who are some of the best ones in your mind?
Best TV dads. Oh man, you're catching me.
So just to tell you some of the names we've got in here, we've got Andy Taylor, we've got Carl Winslow, Uncle Phil, Frank Costanza, Al Bundy, George Lopez.
I don't know how Archie Bunker's not on the list.
This list was put together by Ty and Tommy. So
how about Fred Sanford?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite shows, and I mean it just is hilarious. And I've got a couple of good buddies that are like hoarders, like they got junk, and I mean I helped one of them move some stuff last week or earlier this week because we thought his place was going to get flooded, and we stood and looked in. He's got two different garages. One of them is a 2-story garage, and we're just trying to decide what's the best of the stuff. What stuff do you want to get up in off the ground? I mean. And we just stood there and looked at his stuff. But, I mean, Fred Sanford was amazing. And, the discussions that they had back and forth with his TV son were just, to me, just awesome.
I just loved how he would always fake his heart attack, man. He was just so good
at
that.
Having a big one.
Clay, I want to finish on something that you touched on before we got on the air. I'd seen within the last 20 minutes or so talk that Claudell Washington has passed away today. Claudell Washington, a longtime Major League Baseball player for Oakland, the White Sox. I remember watching him with the Braves in the mid-'80s. Passed away today at the age of almost 66 years. But there's a connection that Claudell had to Lamar Porter Field in Little Rock?
Yeah, well, kind of. It was the early days of the pinch runner. And Claudell was that eventually. But it was the idea that you could put speed on a baseball team, which is what what they did with the A's. I don't know if you remember Charlie Finley just did some weird stuff.
Billy Ball.
Yeah, I mean just weird stuff. But anyway, back in the early days of Lamar Porter, it was when I played there as a 13-year-old. Pony League team. My brother was a coach. Charles Ripley was a coach. Buddy Coleman coached. Trying to think who else were the coaches of those 4 or 5 teams at Lamar Porter. And it was all white. Just about, it was, if you went around Little League Baseball in Little Rock, there were, the major leagues did not have any black players. And Muskie Harris was employed by Boris Malcheski to clean the stands and just worked on the field. And I went to junior high with Muskie, and he was the fastest kid in Little Rock. I mean, he was 100, 200-yard dash champs in all the the meets. We played football together. Muskie was always around, and we'd ask Muskie, says, "You play baseball?" He says, "I'm a switch hitter," and says, "I'm not really sure, but I think I can play." And we knew he was the fastest kid in town. So at worst, he could be a pinch runner. And, that's what the A's were doing. So it was agreed, all the other coaches agreed that Muskie could play. And my brother drafted him, and they had the tryouts. I'll never forget this. We told Muskie just to be – he's one of my best friends. He says, just don't hit very well in the tryouts. Don't throw very well. Miss a few balls, let them go through your legs. And, it's like, so that's exactly what he did. And we got to the first practice. Muskie he was a switch hitter, but he was the same, right-handed and left-handed. He closed his eyes and swung and missed it by 3 feet. He threw the way he did in practice at the tryouts. Every ball went through his legs. I mean, it was pitiful. But, boy, could he fly. And so that's what we used him in, and it was fine. He was a pinch runner, and he's still, he'd still, somebody get on, he'd steal second, he'd steal third, and then we'd run, suicide squeeze. And I mean, it was like he would be on first and home in like 3 pitches. Steal second, steal third, and then we'd bunt, and he would, he'd score standing up. It was the most amazing thing, and we had a blast.
I'll bet. Well, people love running on that baseball field, that's for sure. Clay, we're up against it. We'll leave it there. Thanks as always.
You're the man.
Talking with you, Clay.
Hey, I appreciate you guys.
You got it. That's Clay Henry. Will join us every Wednesday here. Halftime's brought to you by Baxter Regional Medical Care Center, and they are ready to take care of your family again safely. Safe elective surgeries, safe same-day procedures, safely seeing patients across all service lines, including all Baxter Regional clinics, ER, radiology, women's health, physical therapy, lab, and more. They know that you may have been recently delaying health care because of COVID-19, but the precautions that Baxter Regional is taking makes it the safest place to be. Their services might look a little different, but what hasn't changed is their commitment to high-quality, compassionate care. Welcome back to Baxter Regional. To learn more about the extra precautions they're taking, go to baxterregional.org. And we wrap up the first hour of halftime next.
Father's Day, June 21st, the day we honor those special dads. And Jelco Outdoors has store-wide savings on great gift ideas. 25% off Carhartt Force shorts and shirts. 25% off Timberland base plate shirts. 25% off all hunting clothing. 25% off all wallets. Save up to $400 on Browning gun saves. Sanuk sandals, 25% off. And many more gift ideas throughout the store. And Jelco gift cards are always the perfect fit. Jelco Outdoors, your Father's Day gift headquarters.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Make-A-Wake Boat Sales and Service is not only where you can get your next Yamaha or Skeeter boat, they also carry a huge selection of bait and tackle. Find whatever floats your boat at Make-A-Wake Bait and Tackle. They carry tons of top brand lines of rods and reels and everything you need to gear up your tackle box, from Strike King, Kitech, and Zoom to Sunline and War Eagle products. Make finding your next Yamaha or Skeeter boat an easy catch with Make-A-Wake Boat Sales and Service in Van Buren, 4806 Alma Highway in Van Buren, and MakeAwakeBoats.com.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. Join me, Matt Smackdown Jenkins, and Matty T this Friday, noon to 2, for a live edition of Halftime at the all-new Knockout Haircuts for Men on Phoenix Avenue, right across from Gasano's Pizza in Fort Smith. Come in and check out Fort Smith's newest place to get a haircut and a cold beer. We'll talk sports. We'll see who's got the best hair. That's Halftime Live, noon to 2 this Friday at the all-new Knockouts Haircuts for Men, Phoenix Avenue, Fort Smith, across from Gasano's.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
It's that time of year, baseball season, and time to clean. Let Service Master Clean help you with your carpet, upholstery, and floor cleaning. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years and back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or ServiceMasterPC.com.
The disruption due to the COVID-19 pandemic will not soon be forgotten. As a result, business practices are changing almost daily. At times like these, family means everything. Hey, I'm Drake Smith here for Pinnacle Telecom. If you're a customer of Pinnacle Telecom and need assistance during these challenging times, we are here for you. Call us at 479-242-0000 and give us an opportunity to help, because you are family, and family means everything. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Kjerstad goes the other way with a high fly ball to deep left near the corner. Topple racing over at the fence. That ball's out of here. Snuck over the wall. 2 homers for Kjerstad today. He went to right. This time he goes to left. Breaking news about college baseball. Kendall Rogers from D1 Baseball reporting that the NCAA is lifting the 35-man roster cap. There is no limitation now for college baseball rosters for the 2021 season. The annual counter, which is the number of players that can get a scholarship, is increased from 27 to 32, and where previously any player on a scholarship for baseball must be given at least a 25% scholarship, that's also eliminated for a year. So because you're going to be forced to have more players in the pool of college baseball talent, now you're going to have more players on the teams, an unlimited number, in fact, because, boy, isn't that something? I guess it's part of it is how many lockers do you have inside your clubhouse? So that it sounds a little bit unwieldy, but this is the kind of thing that that a lot of college baseball teams needed, just because more players are staying, less college players will get drafted, more high school players are coming into college. But the one thing the NCAA did not change, SmackDown, is that you can only have 9 players in the lineup, and you can only have 9 players in the field. That won't ever change in baseball. So it just makes the competition for those precious starting roles that much more cutthroat. And that leads to another, again, something we mentioned yesterday. The fall scrimmages are going to be nuts.
Oh, my God, yes.
They're going to be absolutely nuts. All right.
I think the big thing to keep in mind here, because me and you were just talking about before we came back on here, with that 35-man roster cap being lifted, theoretically, Dave Van Horn doesn't have to, like, quote-unquote, force anybody to leave. Or kind of, not force, that was probably the wrong way to say it, but nobody has to leave unless if they just decide to choose to, which you're going to have players do it anyway, because you know Dave Van Horn's going to tell Joe Bob, that's back up third baseman, said, look, we got this kid coming in, chances of you playing are slim to none.
Well, and yeah, exactly. That kind of thing won't change. So maybe there's more guys wearing a uniform on the bench that won't travel during road games or something like that. But one
as far
thing
as
also is they haven't added any scholarship money to the programs either. It's still that 11.7, which is the real sticking point for college baseball. They just need more money for scholarships anyway.
Especially when you go to those big schools like that. But at least I guess where I'm coming from is you're not going to have as much of a – I mean, you're still going to have the roster crunch, but it's at least by the sound of that, it's not going to be as needed, I guess maybe the best way to say it.
Well, and again, it's just for 1 year.
Right.
It's not like these things will change.
Just Band-Aid through a year, and then it's back to normal.
That's right, for that 2022 season. Let's see. Found something very interesting on Rivals today on our friends at Hogbeat about Ethan Henderson. And it makes you wonder if maybe Ethan is the guy who's the odd man out with Justin Smith coming into basketball. This is public information. Ethan's got a temporary restraining order from a girlfriend against him. This is the mother of his child. And he has also filed a temporary restraining order against said girlfriend. So dueling temporary restraining orders that were filed in Washington County Court about a month ago. Boy, that sounds like drama, doesn't it?
That's drama right at the very as soon as you sent me this morning, I was like, this is interesting because we've been questioning who's it going to be. And it could be him, but dueling restraining orders, that's wild.
These are temporary restraining orders, which eventually leads to a court date in which both sides will present their case to the judge. But the stuff out there is about some issues with being extra physical with the young lady on Ethan's behalf, that he failed a drug test according to her, and that he's not providing proper money for child care. And on the other hand, Ethan accusing said girlfriend of, and this is right on his application for the temporary restraining order, that she apparently hired somebody to hurt him. Does this sound completely crazy or what?
We almost need Jerry Springer to be the court.
Now, again, these are public documents. They're on Hogbeat right now. And all I'm able to tell you are the things I see on those documents. But with this kind of drama, and we're wondering about what player is going to lose a scholarship or lose a spot on the team.
That could be it right there.
You might have a little bit of an answer right there. 877-377-6963. The second hour is coming up after the break.
River City Bistro is open for lunch and dinner 7 days a week. River City's dining room is set up for your safety and comfort, or enjoy outdoor dining on the spacious patio. River City Bistro, locally owned and open Monday through Friday 11 to 8. Weekends 10 till 8 for brunch and dinner. Want River City curbside to go? Search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro and order right from the page or on the website at rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Spring is here, and there's no better time to get out of the house and back on the road. Time for the windows rolled down and the radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands, such as Toyo. Trust us for your last-minute getaways, open road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you are free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo, we keep you rolling.
New Bud Light Seltzer, huh?
Yep.
And it tastes like a hard seltzer, not a beer?
Yep.
So it's light and refreshing?
Yep.
With a hint of fruit flavor?
Yep.
And 100 calories?
Yep.
You said this is Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
Well, I need to try it.
Yep.
Oh, that tastes great.
Yep.
Now, wait, are you just yupping me?
Nope.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
Attention Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members. Do you need a better internet provider? One who treats you like a member and not a number? Then check out our new fiber internet services from Wave Rural Connect. We are bringing state-of-the-art, high-speed fiber, internet, TV, and phone services right into your home. If you are an Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative member, go to waveruralconnect.com to sign up. That's waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hey, this is Ed with Ed Walker's Drive-In. For more than 70 years, Ed Walker's has been the place to go for the best French dips and hand-patted hamburgers in town. Blue Plate Specials served Monday through Friday, and we're still the home of Fort Smith's only 5-pound hamburger. We're open 10 a.m. to midnight, 7 days a week. Call ahead for pickup, 783-3352. Ed Walker's Drive-In, 1500 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, where the legend lives on.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mainly clear, breezy, and cooler tonight. An overnight low will drop down into the upper 50s to near 60 degrees. We should be partly to mostly sunny on Wednesday. High temperatures pleasant, mid-70s north, low 80s south. And then more sunshine with us on Thursday with high temperatures into the mid-80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by OG&E Weatherization Program for Arkansas customers with homes at least 10 years old. Call 1-800-272-9741 for details or log on to OGE.com.
I hate everything you just said.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3.
They're hilarious.
You guys are awesome, baby. You have these guys, ESPN in Arkansas. They do a good job.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
I love Arkansas. I love everything here. Give me that thing here. Woo!
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Why did that happen in Fayetteville, Arkansas? Dixon Street. It'll get you.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious...
Jones for the win. He got it. He got it. He got it. Mason Jones banks in a three with 0.1 seconds to play.
All right, hold on. It's almost halftime.
Second hour halftime, SmackDown. You can get those big hands going because we're on the countdown towards the weekend now. That's right. 1 o'clock, 1:01 Wednesday. Getting you ready for that weekend, right? All right. 877-377-6963. If you want to react to any of that news about Ethan Henderson, and it does look like we might have our answer as to which player may not be returning to Arkansas. And you know, again, the aspect of this is innocent until proven guilty. Nobody's been proven guilty of anything yet, and there's also no chance, apparently, of anyone,
going to court. I mean, they could settle
prison time. This is about restraining orders, but it does show that there's a little drama going on with one of the basketball players' lives, and you may not see Ethan Henderson in an Arkansas uniform anymore. But we'll see what happens, and when news does break, if there's anything official, we may end up being one of the first ones to get you that information.
Is this 4 days in a row where we've broke news? Or did we break anything yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday was what was yesterday? Man, I don't even remember what yesterday was.
But we're on a hot streak of breaking news between Kendall Rogers coming out with that tweet, and
you've been hitting that sounder every once in a while.
Matty T's been hit. He's been all over it with the Fox News sounder.
Well, you have anything? Is there something breaking right now?
No,
or
that was just
fun one. We got a brand new bracket that we're opening up today.
Yes,
SmackDown had mentioned this to Clay Henry. Best TV dads bracket of all time. You know, so many of the sitcoms that we grew up watching, and I'll be honest here, I haven't watched any sitcoms in a while now. It's been like probably 6 or 7 years. It's centered around the family usually, and dads are quite often the lead character. I still, and I love that we're putting all this together. I don't know how you have a best TV dads bracket without Archie Bunker.
Now, I think before we go further, I would just like the record to show Matty T, myself, and you, Phil Elson, had no say in who got in this bracket.
Nobody even asked.
If you have a problem, it's up to Ty Richardson.
Well, and I really don't have any problem with like the dads that they've chosen here. So let's go through the round one matchups, okay? And they're all iconic fathers. Don't get me wrong. It's just there's something about Archie Bunker where, for me, he is, I think, the most iconic TV dad in history. He'd be the one I would choose as the greatest of all time. And maybe another one that he usually would have gone with would be Cliff Huxtable, but that's a whole other story. We're not doing the Bill Cosby thing, so I'm glad to see that Cliff Huxtable's not on this list either. All right, Andy Taylor versus Mike Brady. I mean, these are classic. That's two classics going up against each other, Andy Griffith and the Brady Bunch. You really learned a lot of life lessons from Andy Griffith, right? And Mike Brady, the show didn't necessarily center around him so much as the show centered around the kids. And I think Andy Griffith is a little more important, but that's a tough one to go with.
Yeah.
Second
you can't go wrong with Andy Taylor.
Second round, second matchup. Now, here, let me go back to the Brady Bunch for a moment here. I don't even remember who Andy was married to. Mike Brady married to Florence Henderson, who was having a relationship with this fellow who was her oldest son on the show, or at least he had a giant crush on her.
Greg
and
Brady?
asked her out.
They
Yes.
kissed one time or something, I think.
Yes.
Wait, hang on. Say that again.
Barry Williams.
Okay.
Yeah. They went
I
on
had
a date,
Barry Williams, Matty T, on a Travelers broadcast in Springfield once because he does a show in Branson.
Yeah, he does. I saw it, and he actually, the other radio station I worked at, he was up there one time promoting the show, and I got my picture with him.
Yeah, I neglected
He's a real
to ask
goober.
him what Florence Henderson's lips felt like. He probably would have thrown the headset down at that moment.
I ain't heard goober.
Homer Simpson versus Coach Taylor. That's an easy one for me. And I've watched 2 episodes of Friday Night Lights. I think it's fine. Come on now. The Simpsons are the longest-running sitcom in TV history.
Yep, Homer Simpson by a long shot. I could just tell you that Todd put this together because we have the Friday Night Lights in there.
Exactly. Like you chose Friday Night Lights over
Archie Bunker.
All in the Family.
Yes.
And if I could assign Ty a halftime homework assignment right now, it would be to watch 5 episodes of All in the Family, and then see if you want to put Coach Taylor over Archie Bunker. What else you got? All right. I love the fact that you've got the same actor on here for 2 different roles. Red Foreman. And who is it? Red Foreman and
Peter Griffin.
And no, not Peter Griffin. It's the guy who's the father from Malcolm in the Middle, Hal Wilkerson, played by the same actor, Kurtwood Smith.
That's the same guy?
Same guy. He is the absolute same guy.
I thought the dad on Malcolm in the Middle was the guy from Breaking Bad.
Well, I think maybe you're correct.
Yeah,
on this. I'm looking at the
Bryan
right.
Cranston. I think Bryan
same.
Cranston is.
They look the
dad on
same. They do look the same. All right, so I've always been a fan of Kurtwood Smith because he frightened me. He absolutely frightened me as the bad guy in RoboCop.
That's right. Wasn't he in one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies too? Maybe.
Probably. So he's played a father in so many different things. Red Foreman versus Peter Griffin. Now, of course, Peter Griffin is essentially my co-host, as we've had so many listeners tell
Is
me.
that an insult or a compliment?
Well, they say that you look like him. I don't think it's an insult or a compliment. It's just like people tell me I look like Joe Rogan.
I've gotten Peter Griffin. More times than not, I get Hank Hill.
Either one of them is fine by me. I still get Joe Rogan. I don't take that as an insult or a compliment.
Fair enough.
Stephen Keaton versus Danny Tanner. That's Family Ties and Full House. I grew up on Family Ties.
See, I would say I grew up a little bit on Full House.
The same dad. Is it Michael Gross? Is that his name?
That's right, Michael Gross.
Yeah, he's
was
also
the
in the Trimmer movies. Like he's like they have like Trimmer 7, and he's the last actor that's still sticking around in them.
I love how Stephen Keaton had to handle Michael P. Keaton, Michael J. Fox, the biggest Richard Nixon fan in the history of early 80s television comedies. Carl Winslow versus Ward Cleaver, Family Matters versus Leave It to Beaver. Didn't Family Matters come out like kind of right around the same time that Die Hard did? And it's the same.
It's the
actor?
same guy. Yeah.
Same guy, and he's really good at playing a policeman. Dustin and Rogers wants Tim Taylor versus Mike Baxter. Tim Taylor is in this competition. He's taking on Frank Costanza. I don't see how Frank Costanza loses.
I mean, he's just a legend. But now Tim Taylor, he plays a dad again on that other show. What's the
the new one.
The newer one.
Forget the show that Tim Allen is on.
Well, Home Improvement, but there's another one that's really.
It just
big
came out. It was on ABC, and then they canceled it, and then Fox picked it. Oh Lord, Matty T, you had to say that.
Uncle Phil of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, who wasn't a dad, although he was a dad. He was a dad to I forget the name of the
Will Smith.
No, he
was his
wasn't
uncle.
Will
Smith's dad. He was his uncle.
Yeah.
Well, I know, but
But he's very fatherly. We'll put it that way. Hal Wilkerson is going up against Uncle Phil, and then George Lopez. I never watched George's show versus Al Bundy of Married with Children. And I guess so. My favorite ones on this is Homer Simpson, Stephen Keaton, Frank Costanza, Al Bundy. That'd be my final four.
Last man standing.
Thanks, Pete. Last man standing. Thank you. My final four, I'll go Homer, Danny Tanner, Uncle Phil, who I think is going to win the whole thing. I'll go Frank Costanza.
Uncle Phil going to win the whole. That would be an upset win.
Uncle Phil.
You know, Uncle Phil was
Costanza.
also Uncle Phil was also the voice of Shredder on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
See, bingo, right there.
Well, I'm going to tell you what. The winner is going to be – we'll put something on this, you and me, SmackDown, because I say it's Frank Costanza. He's the greatest one on this list.
Here,
if you don't have Archie Bunker, I'll go with Frank Costanza.
Matty, who you got? Who you think's going to win the whole thing?
To me, Al Bundy.
So all three of us have something different.
Ought to be good.
Like in the 90s, Al Bundy was just like a cultural phenomenon, you know?
Well, I mean, all you got to do is put your hand halfway down your belt, down your pants, and you're already doing the Al Bundy. It's just how it was. You can go to hitthatline.com, click on the TV Dads link right there at the top. Be part of this contest. Well, really not a contest. It's just something to have some fun with. And we're going to announce the winners on an edition of Halftime on June 19th. The first round ends on June 15th. It's brought to you by Southern Tire Mart. Just off I-540, exit 14's Fort Smith, quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires, plus the best in-class service at Southern Tire Mart. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart. Get those favorite TV dads in at 877-377-6963.
Phil was Carlton's dad. Uncle Phil was Carlton's dad.
That's right, yes.
Yep. So he still was a dad.
Yeah.
We can't have the greatest uncle.
He had a couple of daughters, too.
Uncle Jesse would be on the greatest uncles list. We'll come back after the break. Don't go anywhere.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
I asked Tanner Yurchek over here at Paragle, I said, look me in the eyes and tell me I'll be dead if we ever play them. And he said, Miss Lisa, you'll be dead. Well, I'm not dead. Before they play in football, maybe I'll be out here at Laredo Cemetery, and y'all can come by and let me know the score.
Don't miss The Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9. Only on ESPN 95.3.
Spring is here and there's no better time to get out of the house and back on the road. Time for the windows rolled down and the radios turned up. Southern Tire Mart proudly offers America's most trusted brands such as Toyo. Trust us for your last minute getaways, open road adventures, and memories that outlast the drive. When you can rely on your tires, you are free to enjoy the ride. Your Toyo tires are waiting for you at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith. Southern Tire Mart and Toyo. We keep you rolling.
The Paint Store in Van Buren, ready to help you with summer projects, putting 31 years of experience to work and helping you choose a new color or match one you really need. In addition to a computer, they use their eyes and minds to see color and make adjustments to choose just the right Richards Paint product for your project. They'll keep samples in your name and address for 10 years. No other paint seller does that. See the large selection of the current and popular paint colors from Richard Paints and experience customer service you won't get anywhere else. The Paint Store, 1414 Fayetteville Road, Van Buren.
For the month of June, Franco Furniture stock full of made in the USA. You heard right, made in the USA furniture and Speed Queen washers and dryers all on sale. Franco Furniture wants you to know we are taking every precaution necessary to keep you safe. We will have hand sanitizer available along with masks. Franco Furniture's #1 priority is keeping our customers safe. In-store no credit check financing. Family owned and serviced after the sale for 27 years. Franco Furniture. 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
At AOG, we realize some customers are facing challenges because of the pandemic. We're here to help. AOG can offer you a wide array of payment options. Please call us at 1-800-842-5690 or visit AOGC.com. Manage your account online 24/7 by clicking on Login/Register in the upper right corner. You can also simplify your life by enrolling in electronic billing, auto pay, and average monthly payments. Thank you for being a valued AOG customer. We're all in this together.
What happened to paying one price and getting everything included? You buy an airline ticket and pay extra to bring a change of clothes, book a hotel room, and you're shelling out for Wi-Fi and overpriced bottled water. Really? Imagine my delight when I found out roadside assistance is now included with my shelter insurance auto policy. So if I get a flat tire and need a jump, I just call and they take care of me. There's no additional cost, but some restrictions apply.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith or Jim Malum in Charleston about Shelter's home insurance.
Arts Barbecue and Burgers is back and ready to see you in their dining room. Bring your mask and your appetite to Arts. Wade, Morgan, and all the staff have missed seeing you and can't wait to serve you. And they have everything set for your safety. So gather your crew and come on in to Arts Barbecue and Burgers for dine-in, drive-thru, and curbside to go. It's Arts Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
The disruption due to the COVID-19 pandemic will not soon be forgotten. As a result, business practices are changing almost daily. At times like these, family means everything. Hey, I'm Drake Smith here for Pinnacle Telecom. If you're a customer of Pinnacle Telecom and need assistance during these challenging times, we are here for you. Call us at 479-242-0000 and give us an opportunity to help, because you are family, and family means everything. Pinnacle Telecom, tomorrow's technology today.
This is ESPN 95.3. You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson, Matty T, and Matt Jenkins.
Yo, 2. He struck him out swinging. There's number 11 for Connor Nolan, a new career high. And today, the start of the Major League Baseball Draft. First round tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN. Detroit has the first overall pick. Baltimore, Miami, Kansas City, Toronto, Seattle, Pittsburgh, San Diego, Colorado, Angels round out the first 10 picks.
I'm anxious to see who the Astros pick.
Yep, they don't get a pick until the second round. Laugh that thing up. You're right.
Oh, man. That's the best joke I'll tell all week.
There's only 29 first-round picks instead of 30 this year. Yeah, you want to talk about things that seem like a long time ago. The sign-stealing scandal with the Astros.
Yeah.
That feels like it happened before the steroid era began, honestly. It feels like it was like 30 years ago.
I know, me and Matty Tibbetts, because I think we've brought it up a couple times. It feels like a year and a half ago, because me and him ate lunch together the day before crap hit the fan. And it feels like forever ago.
It does.
Oh, my God. It's so but we ate like champs. We ate little kid cereal pancakes.
From
Bill
IHOP.
King coming up in about 15 minutes. We'll talk some college baseball, some college football with Bill King. Wrap up the show with Change My Mind. Torrey Hunter was on a couple of radio stations in the last 2 days, one in Kansas City, one in Boston. Torrey would have been a Razorback had he not been selected by the Minnesota Twins in the 1993 draft with a first-round pick. He was committed to play for Norm DeBryan. He would have come to Arkansas, but, of course, he went on to have a great major league career. It is interesting, though, that Torrey said there was one city that he would never allow himself to be traded to, and that's Boston. Boston was the last of the Major League Baseball teams to integrate. A guy named Pumpsy Green. So if Jackie Robinson started playing in the early 50s, Pumpsy Green didn't get to Boston until, if I remember correctly, 59 or 1960, right around that time. And players, I think, players of not just, I think people of color, players of African-American descent, they were not treated very well in Boston. But it's not just there. There are other places, too. Seen this from Kansas City, from New York, Chicago, Baltimore. Some places just don't treat opposing players well. Now, I mean, there's a difference between fun heckling, which I feel like we've talked about this week, SmackDown, about some of the stuff that the creative fans at Baum Stadium do. And if it's as good-natured as it usually is, then even those opponents in left field or the third base coach will join in with you and kind of add to the fun a little bit. But then there's the kind of heckling that gets nasty, that gets destructive. And I wanted to play this bit from Torrey Hunter because he experienced this throughout his entire career, whether coming up through the high school ranks in Pine Bluff or all the way up to the big leagues.
And as I got older, it always happened majority of the time while I was playing baseball because people scream, they get drunk, and the true nature comes out. And from high school, I heard it. I've heard it in minor leagues, and I've heard it in the major leagues. And it's amazing because it has nothing to do with the teams. It got something to do with society that allow it to happen, and no one does anything about it. God gives you 2 eyes and 2 ears, and he wants you to see more. He wants you to hear more. He gives you 1 mouth. Stop talking. Just listen and hear it And when you see it, you got to act on it.
Boy, is that great advice there. That's on the Greg Hill Show on WEEI in Boston. You know, and I think Torrey would have liked to play in Boston because he and David Ortiz were very, very tight from time spent with the Twins together, but it just wasn't going to happen. And he's not the only player that would not go play in Boston. And, you know, this also just kind of – I know that we're talking about a major league player, you know, that's on a field, and people just get heckled in that sense. It's a little bit of a different conversation than what you're hearing from college football from, you know, this controversy surrounding the Iowa football program with Kirk Ferentz and this strength and conditioning coach that just demeaned players in an effort, I guess, in his mind, to coach them up properly. You know, I mean, there is a thought in coaching that you tear down the kids that you're coaching in order to build them up in the way that you see fit. The tearing down, though, man, you're going to have to come at it from a different perspective now. And I think that it can be very difficult sometimes. And I don't want to overgeneralize this because I know a lot of strength and conditioning coaches who coach from a place of love rather than a place of insult. But when you hear about some of the ways that the Iowa strength coach, which as I understand might have been the highest paid strength coach in college football, you can't make demeaning statements about a student athlete's background, where they come from, the word thug. You're going to have to stop using this word. There is a connotation to it, a connotation that for some reason, and a very good reason at times in people's minds, is attached to the color of somebody's skin. You're going to need to stop using this word. Coaches, if you're trying to make a point with your players, John Beilein learned this. Do not use that word. I think there are ways to point out to an athlete, to a student athlete, even in a harsh way, that the way that they're doing something is not good enough, that it doesn't pass muster, that it's not going to get them on the field, or that they're in danger of losing their jobs, without going at them in a personal way that makes them feel less than somebody else on the team because of the color of their skin or where they come from or their background. I feel the same way about this. You got to treat the white athletes the same way. You don't call them a thug. This is not the way to communicate to today's student athlete. Coaches can decry this, that today's student athlete isn't the same one that they knew when they were a student athlete. That's just a fact. You're going to need to make the adjustment because we're starting to see the pendulum is swinging ever so slightly that gives players in college sports more leverage than they've had before. They have a voice that they've not had before. If they are treated in a certain way that this Iowa strength coach has been treating those players, and there's reports of over 50 of these former players coming out, the coaches need to make the adjustment, not necessarily the players. I think if you get the point across that the way you're doing this is not proper, you can be harsh without being insulting, then that's fine. And I think that's the way that any coach would want to be coached themselves. You understand a coach is going to yell at you. You understand a coach is going to come from a place of disappointment quite often. If a coach tells your mom that I'm going to treat your son like he's my son, anger's going to come out sometimes. Parents get angry at their kids. They use middle names when they're angry. We all know this. But parents don't disparage that person's background. Parents don't ever make that child feel like they are less than another one of their siblings based upon the color of their skin, based upon their background. Coaches have to make the adjustment. You treat your player the way that you would have liked to be treated. Remember how it felt when you were demeaned by a coach. I'm going to guarantee you didn't like it then.
No.
You might have known that he was doing that because he wanted you to be better, but that's not an excuse any longer. Treat people the way you want to be treated. For me, it is as simple as that. Same at Utah, same at Clemson, though I feel like the situation at Clemson is a little different than what's happened at Iowa. But I just would like to come from a simple place of respect. If coaches want respect from their players, then you damn well better show those players respect as well.
It's as simple as that. I've had some of my best coaches. I mean, I don't know how to phrase this. Some of my best coaches have almost turned into father figures for me. I mean, I have a great father. Don't get me wrong, and I love my dad to death. But 3 of my basketball coaches right now, I guarantee you, they would. If I needed anything from them, they're the first person I call. And every time they've gotten on to me, and I've been cursed at, yelled at, I've been done everything in the book. But every time they did it, it was out of love, and I knew they had my back at every other time.
Yeah. Don't come preaching family atmosphere in your program if it's just a recruiting pitch and you don't actually preach, you don't actually practice what you're preaching. I think that's what it comes down to. Hey, if you own a business that needs more security or more curb appeal, call the Fence Man at 479-782-3936. The Fence Man has a fence that can give you both. They'll be over for a quick, no obligations quote. The Fence Man, 479-782-3936. The Fence Man is a division of Quantum Property Services. And Bill King coming after the break. Stay tuned.
When we rise above alcohol and drugs, we reach for, expect, achieve, and accomplish more. The minute we think about using alcohol or drugs, we lower our chance of living our best life. When we rise above, we respect ourselves and live our best life, not a stressed life. Being drug and alcohol free has always been the best way to be. Hey, it's my best me. Let's do this. Join the RAAD movement. Challenge yourself to rise above alcohol and drugs. To learn more, find and like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Region 2 Partners for Success, and you can reach us at 870-391-3176.
It could be a routine drive to pick up the kids after school or an epic road trip across the country. No matter where your travels take you, we know those miles count. We're Marathon. We have over 5,700 stations across our great nation. Our people are working hard every day to provide you with quality top-tier gasoline to improve engine performance and fuel your life. Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above can make that driveway and fence look brand new with a good power washing. You don't have to put up with those unwanted pests either. Call today and get started with the flea, tick, and mosquito treatment to start enjoying the outdoors again. More than just a mowing service. They're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea, tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
We're now living in uncharted waters with the spread of COVID-19. With the partial closing of a lot of businesses, sadly, some will soon try and turn your possessions into their possessions. Guardtronic has been providing security for homes and businesses for over 60 years. Whether you need a camera system to keep an eye on things or a complete home security system, call Guardtronic 479-785-2323 or go online to guardtronic.com. We have so many worries these days, safety should not be one of them. License E50.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
We're here to tell you about Boost Mobile's new upgraded network.
That's right. Stronger signal, faster speeds, and more coverage.
So now you can get everything you want faster, like Pitbull's music.
No, the new upgraded network means you can download music faster than ever before. It doesn't mean that it will make Pitbull songs faster.
Oh, so this isn't the song.
No, this is the song.
Well, this is embarrassing.
Step up with Boost Mobile's new upgraded network. Stronger signal, faster speeds, more coverage than before. Switch and get 4 unlimited lines for $25 per line per month and 4 free LG K51 phones. Access to upgraded network requires compatible device. New customers only. 4-line offer requires at least 1 port and activation from eligible carrier. Free phone limited to 1 per line while supplies last. Customers using more than 35 gigabytes of data during billing cycle may be deprioritized during times of congestion. Offers and coverage not available everywhere. Additional terms and restrictions apply. See boostmobile.com or retailer for full details.
This is ESPN 95.3.
Your sports team is vastly inferior. That's simple.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Follow the guys on Twitter at Phil Elson PXP, at Matt Travis, and at Matt Jenkins 44. Have a smart speaker? Just say play ESPN Arkansas to listen to Halftime anywhere you go.
ESPN Arkansas from tuning.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
Phil Sports Radio 6 to 9. Good friend of our show, joining us here on a Wednesday on Halftime. Bill, how you doing today? What's up?
Hey, guys.
Major League Baseball draft starts today. Lots of hoopla. This might be the only thing we have to be happy about involving baseball for the entire summer. So, we're all here knowing Kjerstad's going in the first round, hoping Casey Martin goes in the first round at some point, wondering about Casey Opitz. But you've got a player there in Nashville at the defending national champion Vanderbilt, Austin Martin. He is a jack of all trades. He probably has the best bat on ball abilities of anybody in the draft. And he's got a good shot, maybe an outside shot, of being the top overall pick.
It'd be amazing, the run that they've had. And, yeah, he's something else. And he can play, literally. He can play. He's probably more of a second baseman if he's an infielder. And he can play, I think, most of the outfield spots, including center field. He's arguably a leadoff hitter, too. He's got a lot of skill, think about that team they had with him and J.J. Boudet a couple of years ago together. Just crazy talent. And I was telling you, we have a kid here locally that all the scouts say is the best hitter in America. He's right here. And he was signed by Vanderbilt named Robert Hassel. And I'm not sure what I know his dream, like everybody else, is to play in the big leagues. I just don't know what it would take to get him to bypass Vanderbilt. That'll be interesting.
Well, and it's really crazy because when you look, you've had, even in the last, what has it been, a little more than a decade, 13 years, Vanderbilt has 2 first overall picks. You had Dansby Swanson, David Price, may end up with Austin Martin. And then next year, I don't know anybody that's going to not pick Kumar Rocker first overall. There'd be 4 top overall picks in a 15-year stretch. You don't see that in any college sport. Vanderbilt's an outlier, man.
I'd say Kumar Rocker would, if he could, go number 1 today.
Yeah.
And next year. It's kind of like when Peyton Manning came back for a senior season in 1997. Yeah, it's amazing. And considering Vanderbilt as a school doesn't give a bleep about their sports. They tell you they do, but they don't. They haven't upgraded facilities in football since the 80s. Literally, other than a locker room makeup thing. And they put up hundreds of millions of new dorms and everything else for the students that they're trying to attract from across the world. It's amazing. Tim Corbin is different from all the other coaches there. He is on his own. His office is over in the baseball area, not where the others are. And he's able to do things and not have to worry about an absolute idiotic administration. So that makes it even more impressive.
Okay, so let's take this a step further with Vanderbilt football, because I haven't seen any announcement about whether or not they're coming back for classes in the fall in person. I think the other 13 schools have made their announcements, and we are marching towards an on-time start for football season, but nothing from Vandy yet. And I saw a column in the Tennessean the other day that posits the thought maybe they don't play. Is there a chance Vanderbilt does not play football in the upcoming season?
I'm going to answer that two different ways. No, they've got to play. But again, their administration is so idiotic. If anybody weren't going to play, it would be Vanderbilt. But no, I don't think that's a consideration.
Speaking to Bill King here on Halftime, Bill, there was a post that came out from Saturday Down South, and they were ranking the SEC coordinators. They ranked them individually on offense and defense, and then they put them together. They had, I'll just list off the top three. They had Florida at number 1, Arkansas at number 2, and Texas A&M at number 3. From your standpoint, I mean, you're the king of college football. Who do you think has the best duo of offensive and defensive coordinators?
Well, it's not Alabama.
That was that shocked me because on this list they came into number 12, and that surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, and mainly because of their defensive coordinator. They really couldn't go out and find another one. But, boy, that's a very good question. I would probably, and I'm assuming now they list Jimbo's the offensive coordinator at A&M. Is that how they list it?
Yes, yes, they do.
Right. I think that's pretty good right there. I really do. Now, I will say this, and again, different list, but if LSU still had Joe Brady and Dave Aranda, to me, that'd be number 1. Mm-hmm. But those guys have cashed in and moved on. I think that would be, couldn't even argue, probably, if those guys were back. But, I think that's a pretty good list there at the top. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out that's getting overlooked or underranked, et cetera. And I like the hire that Georgia made it offensive coordinator, too. And Georgia's going to have the best defense maybe in America this year. They're better than they were, and they had the best defense last year, at least in the SEC, if not America. But it's the offense that we're worried about.
And that was the thing that really caught me off guard. Just to tell, like you were talking about best offense, they actually have Mike Leach as the number 1 offensive coordinator in the among the SEC coordinators. So this kind of caught me off guard with Alabama. But I think the one thing that at least us Arkansas fans took from it was, I mean, there's been a lot of, I wouldn't say disrespect, but just a lot of not high expectations with Sam Pittman, and rightfully so because there's no head coaching experience with Sam Pittman. But the job he was able to do in getting 2 really good coordinators, they have Kendall Browse at number 6 among offensive coordinators and Barry Odom at number 4 among defensive coordinators. That says a lot about Sam Pittman.
Those are good hires, without question. Those are good hires, I both have records, and obviously Barry Odom's older, but those guys have proven records that they can get things done. Now, they're going to have to do it with what most consider outside looking in talent that's not as good as a lot of the other teams, but that's why you get started with a new guy.
So, Bill, I saw USC is making a big deal of welcoming back Reggie Bush. I'm not exactly sure what this means. Is this just what's the whole purpose for welcoming back Reggie Bush?
PR, recruiting. I mean, he's one of the best players we've seen play in college in the last, 15 years, for sure. And, of course, they had to disassociated from him for that 10 years, which is really silly. I mean, come on. And they're doing it just for and think about the social media. Social media is huge now compared to when he played, when we didn't even have it then. So this is all about the look and the PR. And recruits will see it. Some of them probably won't be old enough. Recruits right now are 18, weren't even in elementary school when he was starring. But it was a good PR move nonetheless.
All right, last thing I want to touch on here. I think you might laugh when you hear this quote coming from Chris Sims, former NFL quarterback, NBC sports analyst. This is word for word. Jarrett Stidham is more talented than Tua. Tua is a creation of Alabama. You don't think Jarrett Stidham or Justin Herbert would have set the world on fire if they got to play with 4 first-round receivers and 2 first-round tackles? So Chris Sims says Jarrett Stidham is more talented than Tua Tagovailoa. Bill King, have at it.
Well, I wouldn't want to die on that hill, would you?
That's a good way to put it.
Would you want that on your tombstone? Right there, that phrase?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I mean, the first thing you always hear about Tua is that he throws the prettiest ball and that it is accurate. I'm not sure if that has too much to do with his receivers. I know getting help, time to throw means a lot, but man, when you watch the guy throw, I don't know how you figure Stidham's got more talent.
No, and he's athletic, and he's used to he's a playmaker, right? I mean, he just makes plays, and he's going to have to reel that in, obviously, on the level he's going to be playing. But no, there's no GM in America that would have that same analysis about Tua versus Jared Stidham. Not that I know of.
I don't know with Chris Sims sometimes. I think, and this is the same thing with other analysts. They just say something that is an opinion bomb that they know is going to explode, that they might not even really believe in, but just get a little bit of attention.
I'll give you guys quick cliff notes. I know you're late. The first big flip in recruiting that came from a message board was Chris Sims. He was committed to Tennessee right after the Peyton Manning era. Number one quarterback in America, lefty out of New Jersey, son of Phil Sims. He's committed to Tennessee, did it like in December on Madison Square Garden Network. I was perusing message boards back then, but none of them had any truth to them. There was no credibility. But one guy posted in there, Sims going to flip to Texas. And I didn't believe it. 2 weeks later, it was real. The very first flip that a message board had the scoop on, and it was just some fan. It wasn't even the dude who runs the board.
Yeah, now our message boards aren't quite as popular. It's been replaced by Twitter. All right, Bill, we'll leave it there. Appreciate your time as always.
Okay.
Thank you. Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, joining us on most Wednesdays. All right, we got one more segment here on halftime, and we got to change my mind coming up after the break. 877-377-6963 to get on with us. On Friday, we're going to be at Knockouts Hair Salon for Men, or Haircuts for Men. I don't think you put the word salon in involving men too often. Knockouts Haircuts for Men on Friday. Phoenix Avenue, Fort Smith will be there for a live edition of Halftime starting at noon, running right through 2. We will bump elbows, we will touch fists, and I will chew the oldest stick of gum in the history of Arkansas radio and see if I'm able to make it through the rest of the show after that. But in the meantime, we wrap up the show with a cherry on the top after the break.
Miss Anna's on Towson is quickly becoming one of Fort Smith's favorite haunts. We're now serving breakfast from 6 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Blue Plate specials served Monday through Friday. And don't forget about 99-cent Pie Tuesday. So whether you're craving some of our great kickin' chicken or one of our world-famous desserts, Miss Anna's is the place to be. 5001 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, 649-6300. That's 649-6300.
Hey, it's Phil Elson. Join me, Matt Smackdown Jenkins, and Matty T this Friday, noon to 2, for a live edition of Halftime at the all-new Knockout Haircuts for Men on Phoenix Avenue, right across from Gasano's Pizza in Fort Smith. Come in and check out Fort Smith's newest place to get a haircut and a cold beer. We'll talk sports. We'll see who's got the best hair. That's Halftime Live, noon to 2 this Friday at the all-new Knockouts Haircuts for Men, Phoenix Avenue, Fort Smith, across from Gasano's.
Now is the perfect time to invest in your own backyard oasis. Hi, Tommy Kraft here from my good friends at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith. Burton's has everything you need. Semi-in-ground pools right now at just $9,997. You want a hot tub? This is the perfect time. Hot Springs hot tubs start as low as $2,695. And this includes delivery, cover, and all the startup chemicals you need. And with over 60 luxury spas in stock, you're sure to find the perfect one for you and your family. Plus, they got great deals on all the pool accessories,
big green eggs, and all the outdoor living furniture you're ever going to need. Hey, it's all at Burton Pools and Spas. They're in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and you can find them online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas. They're your source for backyard fun. That's Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith.
Business owners, if your carpets and floors show the effects of too much foot traffic, call the professionals at your local Service Master Clean. Whether it's janitorial cleaning or specialty cleaning to eliminate dirt and grime from carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors, no job is too big or too small. Service Master Clean has been an industry leader for more than 60 years. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or servicemasterpc.com.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Hey, Dad? You want to have a catch? I'd like that.
You could win the ultimate Father's Day getaway. Head to hitthatline.com and register to win an all-inclusive stay at Gaston's White River Resort. This includes 3 nights deluxe lodging, 2 days of guided fishing on the White River, and $200 to enjoy at Gaston's restaurant. Just register at hitthatline.com. The ultimate Father's Day getaway is brought to you by our Track Sales and Rentals in Clarksville, Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling, Gelco Outdoors in Fort Smith, Metters Lumber Company in Alma and Ozark, Big Creek Trading Company in Harrison, and by Make Awake Boats in Van Buren. No purchase necessary. You can register once per day. Winner announced on June 19th. Win the ultimate Father's Day getaway from Gaston's White River Resort. HitThatLine.com and ESPN Arkansas.
Junior? Yes, sir.
I love you, Dad.
Happy Father's Day.
This is ESPN 95.3. Find us on 99.5 and 1290 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith in the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs in Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com.
I listen to public radio.
Now, back to the guys. Here's Phil Elson, Matty T, and SmackDown.
I'll close out the show with a cherry on the top. But first, you can go to hitthatline.com, enter the Father's Day Giveaway 2020. Grand prize winner gets 3 nights lodging in deluxe accommodations at Gaston's White River Resort, 2 days of trout fishing with a guide for up to 3 people on the White River, a $200 gift certificate at Gaston's Restaurant, and 6 other winners will be selected for great prizes from sponsors such as R-Track in Clarksville, Big Creek Trading Company, Frank Rowe Furniture in Barling, Gelco Outdoors, Metters True Value, and Make Awake Boat Sales. You can enter once a day up until next Friday, June the 19th. The Morning Rush will pick the winner. That's the Father's Day Giveaway 2020, brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort.
A first-class time. Every time.
Wow. Ooh, that was even
I'm trying to go a second longer every day.
I was going to say, we're going to get like the dead air alarm there. If it's waiting longer.
Let's empty out the text line here. We had Wade from Branch wanted to get in on on his favorite TV dads. He says Fred McMurray from My 3 Sons. Good father figure. I remember watching a couple of My 3 Sons episodes when Nick at Night first came out. This is a 1950s sitcom.
I liked it when it was on Nick at Night. Now, he was also in just like every movie for a few years during that time period too, wasn't he?
I'm not even sure who it was. I just remember who the father was. But yeah, you're going a little bit too early for most of us, and that would have been one that Tommy Kraft might have thought about. Porter sent in a text. We were talking about some of the terms that coaches really should not be using to begin with when they're trying to tear players down, and remembers Don Imus losing his job over what I think he didn't use the term thug.
I remember this. I remember when this happened.
He called them nappy-headed hoes. That was the term to describe the women's basketball team at Rutgers. So yeah, Imus, boy, did he ever deserve it for that.
Yep.
Let's see. John
the dad
Nash-
from My Three Sons, he was in The Absent-Minded Professor. I know you've seen that movie. That's like Flubber, you remember?
Oh yeah. I
thought
remember.
you were
that.
talking like the Nutty Professor. I've not seen The Absent-Minded Professor. I guess I'm going to have to go back and check out my Turner Classic Movies.
Sure, halftime homework for tomorrow.
John in Nashville says I look like Murr from Impractical Jokers.
Nah, the same
I've
haircut.
I've never seen that, meaning no hair. But he also has Murr has 2 eyebrows. I just have one long one, so I think I look more like Joe Rogan, although I'm not quite as buff.
I don't know. I feel like if you flex right now, you could swallow that shirt up real quick.
I have to do a double take.
Probably
is that who
not.
I think it is? No, that's Phil.
So Joe. Oh, it's just Phil. Never mind.
No, I'm not Joe Rogan. I'm also not going to have Alex Jones on my show ever, ever, ever. All right, but we will wrap up the show here with Change My Mind.
Did she just change my mind?
And nobody's gonna change my mind about them.
Now, I don't care what you say.
Nothing can make me change my mind.
Said I can make you change your mind.
If you know how I feel, why would you say that? Like, you put me in such an uncomfortable situation.
That is just so disrespectful for you to say something like that. Say it with your chest. Change my mind.
All right, so where to go with this? I saw this yesterday, and it doesn't make any sense to me. I saw this in the Daily Mail, which is a newspaper in the United Kingdom. So apparently, this has taken place in China. A 30-year-old gentleman went to the hospital in China after suffering from severe abdominal pain. He went under an X-ray scan. Doctors were shocked to find a 16-inch dead fish that was inside this gentleman's rectum.
Thanks.
Yeah, he says
It was just chasing the worm?
Yeah, they extracted it from him. He's still alive. There is a photo of the X-ray on this photo.
There's a photo. Oh no!
It's just of the X-ray. It's not actually getting a real look inside.
All right, I gotta find this now.
The incident is believed to have taken place last Tuesday.
Oh my God!
In the province of Guangdong, southern China.
Oh!
Shocking discovery. That's right. So the guy says he sat on it by accident.
Yeah, right.
And I'm saying that you cannot get a 16-inch fish inside your body in any of the holes on your body unless you're trying to.
There's got to be some effort made.
Yes, this cannot be an accident. There is no way
accidentally
that can
on
be
purpose.
an accident.
Oh, my God.
Doctor, how did this fish get up my butt? Oh, well, I don't know. Why don't you answer that for me?
I sat on it.
There was a smaller fish that had gone up there, and he got that. This fish was going to eat that fish, and
right.
Whole plan backfired.
My God.
Yeah, that's a change my mind for today. So go ahead and have at it, SmackDown.
I can't top that, but I'll give it a try. So I found this online today by People Magazine. Apparently, Pepsi, after this gained popularity in Japan, Pepsi is now releasing a pineapple Pepsi.
Is that the choice of a new generation?
I guess, but my change my mind. What the hell's the big deal with pineapple? Because you're seeing it with now with this, it's the big craze in pizza now.
Is it? I like pineapple.
Oh, pineapple
I like pineapple
been for a long time now.
Pineapple by itself is fine. I just don't get pineapple Pepsi. That's disgusting.
It sounds good.
I mean, they put so many different flavors in these things now. But I believe if Lay's can try cappuccino flavored potato chips, then Pepsi can try a pineapple Pepsi.
I don't know. I'm old school. I like to keep it simple. I like just a good old fashioned Coca-Cola, Pepsi, maybe a Diet Coke every once in a while.
You weren't big on Crystal Pepsi.
Ooh, that's good stuff.
Pepsi, but it's
the good
clear.
stuff. You're right. So you were just talking about what you just said, Phil. My last one, Pringles and Wendy's are partnering up to do new Baconator chips.
Do what now?
Oh, now I would like these to actually just be, chips made of bacon. That would be perfect.
Yeah. So you get a can of Pringles, but it tastes like the
Baconator
Baconator sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm in for that.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Can you ask for no onions on that one?
Maybe they'll just maybe they can make it like a 9-pack of Pringles. You buy 9 of them, but every one of them has one of the condiments missing.
I like to dip my burger in ketchup. Would it be the same dipping my chips in ketchup, or would that be frowned upon?
You could dip your chip there.
Yeah. Good one.
Little inside radio humor there for you. Good one. I got another one here. So you heard me yesterday on the show go off a little bit on Cardinals fans for being precious and buying into the idea that they're the best fans in baseball and always talking about it and much. I know, and I had a conversation with him before the show today. Grant Hall, who's on our affiliate 99.5 from 2 to 3 after our show today. I think I upset Grant yesterday.
Dang it, Phil.
He is a diehard Cardinals fan. I called him up, and I wanted to let him know, hey, I'm not insulting you, but I do think Cardinals fans are a little bit precious. And then it's like he made my point for me. Look, I come from the same kind of fan base. The Pittsburgh Steelers fans are exactly the same way. So are Kentucky basketball fans. They will tell you how many games they've been to, how many championships the team has won, all this and that, and all the tradition and the blah, blah, blah. But here's the fact of the matter. It ain't about you. It ain't about you. Who cares who the best fan base is? Who cares?
Amen, brother.
Just be a fan. Just have fun. Just love your team.
Would you rather be a Texas A&M football fan or a Kentucky basketball fan?
Do I have to pick?
Yeah, you have to pick one.
I don't think I would want to be a Texas A&M anything.
Ooh, good. I figured you'd say Kentucky.
No, I like going to Texas A&M for sports, but I also view it as I just don't think I'd fit in at Texas A&M. Not like I'd fit in at Kentucky, but if you're putting me on the spot to pick one or the other, I'll take blue over maroon.
Last one I got for you. Krispy Kreme is coming out with a selling line. Or Krispy Kreme is selling a line of dessert-inspired donuts. So I did the one bad thing that they're doing. So they're coming out with these. Apparently, some of that they're coming out with is a banana pudding donut, a coconut cake donut, and what I think is going to be the best thing that they'll ever create, Mississippi mud pie donut.
Ooh, yeah.
So
that would be good.
You know, the way I grew up, or at least the way my parents allowed me and my sister to enjoy donuts. Donuts were dessert. They weren't breakfast. They were. We could go to Mr. Donut after dinner, as long as we were good and finished everything. So I never looked at donuts as breakfast then. It was dessert. So this is just a little redundancy. Did I change your mind?
No, not at all. I still want the Mississippi mud pie.
Would you
donut.
start your day with one of those?
Ooh.
Where do you go from there too? I mean, you eat one of those at 6 a.m. What's the rest of the day look like?
That's right.
A lot of coffee.
Yeah,
just
ruin
to burn
the day.
it up.
That's
Don't eat
exactly
for the
right.
rest of the week.
Ruin the day before it starts. Good to be with you guys today. We have another edition of Halftime tomorrow. So join us for another one. We'll have a lot of fun, and we'll make fun of each other at the same time.
We're good at that.
For Matty T and SmackDown, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, get better.
To feel the